another episode of Hard Factor presented by the Barstool News Network. It is Monday, July 13th, 2020. And first up, a reminder to watch full video episodes on either the Barstool blog or youtube.com/hardfactornews. And you can see Pat's new rat tail, the rat tail he's been promising to the Hardo Hive.
Wait, let's get a look at the back there.
Yeah, let's see. Okay.
You're calling what? That's a rat tail?
It's thicker. It's thicker than a rat tail. I think a beaver tail is a more apt description.
There you go. Pat has the first beaver tail haircut. We're gonna coin that. Yeah.
Well, guys. Yeah. With all due respect, and I appreciate your very, very tough judgment on my rat tail / beaver tail. My roommate Ian did the cutting, and he's not an expert at this. Okay, so we were pretty high, and we'd had a couple.
I watched the live stream, Pat. I was in there. I was in the chat. Oh, you were in there too, Mark?
I was in there too for a little bit. Yeah.
Did you chug a beer when I said to chug beers?
I didn't see that. I was just complimenting Ian because Ian was getting some shit in the thread. So I was like, "Hey, man, Ian's doing a great job."
I couldn't see the chat. Well, people were giving Ian a hard time. I couldn't see the chat.
I guess so. Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe about the speed. You were also giving Ian a hard time about the speed. But yeah, I was saying though, it either looks like a Rufio or a Nutria tail. That's what I was thinking.
There you go.
But beaver tail, I think
I like
best,
beaver because look, rat tails are kind of gross, and mullets are played out. But the beaver tail to attract beaver, if you know what I mean. I like it.
Can you guys start referring to me as the beeve?
Yeah.
I think you need to refer to yourself. I'm not going to do it until you refer to yourself.
Well, guys, the beeve is...
How's your weekend, Beaver?
Oh, the beeve had a good weekend, bro. The beeve had a strong weekend. The beeve got a new cut. You know what the beeve might do? Like a beeve does, is the beeve might dye his tail. That's what he might do. That's
a nice chestnut brown.
Oh, bro, and like I might get that cross, the cross pattern on there too. How sick would that be?
If you could figure out a way to like
spot
a cross, or if you could figure out a way to like get it so that it can flap against your neck really fast, and you can make a noise like, like.
Wait a minute, can you dye?
You can flaunt the beaver tail.
Is it wide enough to dye beeve in it? Can you? Get the letters
totally.
Beeve?
I mean, I'll need a pro. When we say dye, it's probably going to be a spray paint because it's going to be a stencil.
Well, yeah, spray paint beeve in there.
Yeah, I could spray paint beeve into the tail.
Okay. So all that reminder, watch the full videos on the Barstool blog.
It gives me a lot. The beeve feels real good today on the show.
Are you confident? Are you more confident?
Oh my God. Oh my God. The confidence is exuding out of me. It is like.
Have you had any comments on it?
I mean, I haven't really been anywhere. I went on a bike ride, and I got lots of hellos from the neighbors.
For the first time, they're like, hello.
No, I mean, I haven't really taken it out, Will. Haven't really. The beeve.
You got to take that thing for a spin.
Has been mostly in the dam, Yeah.
Yeah. See, exactly. You're picking up on it already, Mr. Beeve.
With the mask, in the era of the mask, the beeve is even like, it takes it to the next level. Like, you know what I mean? Like that all people can recognize is the hair. So the beeve in the era of the mask is just like, it's fishing with dynamite.
It's nice.
My God, look at that.
That's a sweet beaver tail is what I'd say.
Thanks, bud. Let's get in the show.
All right, let's get into the show. I'm going to do a Trump date first, and Mark's got a little lightning round in the middle, first time ever, and then Pat's going to end it with some Corona updates.
And then the beeve's going to take us home.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you refer to who's going to do it at the end there?
The beaver.
Yeah, that's right.
The beaver himself will take us back to the dam. All right, let's get this going with this Trump date. President Trump, he wore a mask for the first time ever. And apologies for this 6-part Trump date in advance, but Donnie's been busy. We got to cover it. So, like I just said, he wore a mask in public on purpose for the first time ever during the coronavirus pandemic, visiting Walter Reed, the hospital over the weekend. Yay, right? You guys, he's only like half a year late on that mask thing in public, but, right?
Wear a mask. Huh? Wear a fucking mask, people. Wear the mask. Right. We got like 80,000 cases a day at this point.
Yeah,
more than
in the masks. Yeah. Go ahead, Pat.
More than that. Well, why did he do it? I mean, Walter Reed, is it because it's a veterans hospital?
Yeah, he said he felt like in those confines and around those people, he needed to be wearing a mask. He should have been, doing this to set the example the whole time. He didn't. In fairness, though, he was only like 6 weeks behind Joe Biden, who wore a mask for the first time on May 25th in public and changed his profile picture to the one that was grabbing his ears. like off of his head. And also, Biden's been in a bunker. Trump has not. But definitely, he should have been wearing this mask much, much earlier. And
Agreed.
Also, another thing why he should have been wearing it earlier, his mask was awesome. Do you guys see it? Like, it's got the presidential seal on the side. It was
No, I didn't catch that part of it. I saw it in passing, just like one
realistically
picture.
top 5 mask I've seen. It's just very slick looking.
That's like a beef move. If you have a sick ass mask, you need to be rocking it. Like I would love to have a cool mask.
You better believe the Beeve is going to get, and I don't, a lot of people aren't going to understand why the Beeve has this on his mask, but Gravedigger, the monster truck, is going to be on my mask.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, that's good. You should also
That'll
just get
complete the look.
a bunch of sticks.
Yeah, they'll be on there too. It'll be made of sticks. It'll be like the Bane mask made of sticks.
There you
It's got Gravedigger and a dam. Gravedigger crushing a dam.
No, Gravedigger could try, but not a dam that the Beeve put together.
Not your dam. No. It's too sturdy. Yeah, so like seriously, one of the best masks I've seen. But, you know, like, was it worth waiting the extra 6 weeks where he probably should have been wearing it in the first place to get the best mask of all time? Probably.
We're talking about it, aren't we?
I'm looking at this mask. Will, you're right. The placement, it
is sick.
It's very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah,
the lower right of the mask, they placed the seal. It's off center.
Right. They need to make one with the Barstool right there.
It's well done. It's well done.
It's like clearly custom cut to his face.
It's official for sure. It screams officiality.
Yeah, it is the best mask I've seen. So, I mean, he waited way too long, but at least he brought a good one to the game once he got into it. All right, next topic. Everybody just wear a mask and use hand sanitizer, like Mark was saying. That's the bottom line on this one. Next topic. Roger Stone. Trump commuted the sentence of longtime Republican strategist and lover of Instagram burner accounts, Roger Stone. The man in the bowler hat and women's sunglasses is free to keep doing whatever the fuck he wants to inside of his several homes. And obviously, the Democrats are very upset about this. Robert Mueller was so mad that he wrote an op-ed for WAPO saying that Stone was convicted and should be, serving. And people are viewing this pardon as the epitome of partisanship by Trump, who, has commuted thousands less than his predecessor, Barack Obama. Needless to say, they've used the pardon commuting powers very differently.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about this. Who cares? But I would like to say, did Trump reinstate his burner accounts? Because that's something I'm interested in.
I hope so.
It's not in his power. He doesn't have the power there.
I'd like an executive order for Roger Stone's burner accounts to be brought back to full power.
Can we talk about where the idea of pardoning people came from in the first place? Like what a cucking to the criminal justice system that they're like, yeah, we make a lot of mistakes, so we give the president the opportunity to unfuck the fucked.
It was either that or the power of flight, Pat. They went with the lesser of the two.
Right.
And they gave the president pardon power. Yeah.
It's kind of like it must have been like a George Washington era thing, right? Like no one wants to do it. They're like, "Come on, be the president." And he's like, "I don't know." Well,
do you think it started? Yeah, do you think it started with a turkey on Thanksgiving and then went to humans? Maybe we could pardon humans too. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Pat. The president's just like, this job is so shitty. Do I get something good?
Something good.
Like, you can pardon any of your friends you want.
You get your own parking space, an executive bathroom, and you can pardon whomever you want.
I watched a lot of true crime documentaries this weekend that were all like the person that got arrested was most likely innocent was the point of the documentary. So,
Did you listen to
justice system isn't always getting
That's what I was getting at. Obama had used his, I think, to do like many more like regular average Joe type.
I don't like this argument because it's a friends thing. It's like if you have the more friends you have, the more pardons you're going to do.
Well, hang on. If any of us become president one day, and any of the other people, in our friend group,
we have a pardon deal for sure.
Yeah, we have a pardon deal. Like unless it's short of like murder that you didn't order them to do as president, then
I think let's not put this on air. But yeah, we have a pardon.
Can we work out what our signal is going to be? Which is here's what I want.
We cannot say it. No.
But flap the
I want it to be. I'm being interviewed in the media. I wanted to say, pardon me, but, and that's signal for you guys to know, hey guys, I really could use a pardon over here.
One of us just needs to become the president. All right, next one, DACA, which is the Dreamers. Here's what President Trump said about it this weekend. If you look at the Supreme Court ruling, they gave the president tremendous powers when they said that you could take in this case, 700,000 or so people. So they gave powers. That's what Trump said regarding the Supreme Court decision a few weeks ago, where they blocked him from dismantling DACA, which is deferred citizenship approval for young immigrants. A much different tone than when he initially called their ruling a shotgun blast to the face of conservatives on Twitter.
Which he really should have called a Cheney. I don't know why he didn't.
A Cheney? Yeah.
Yeah. So much like Dan Snyder of the Washington R words, Donald Trump has been pressured by the corporate world as well to stop fucking around with DACA because they want those people to be able to work. So Trump will now sign an executive order to try and create a path to citizenship for Dreamers in the program with his newfound powers from the Supreme Court that he just talked about at the top of that. So, because immigrants can help the economy.
Didn't like 100 big companies too, like Amazon and a bunch of people get on his ass too? Because DACA's like the best of the best, right? It's like you're talking about doctors and a bunch of very intelligent, talented people.
I think that's the point of the
DACA's
the
like the best and the brightest.
Right.
Yeah.
I just don't get what the beef is here, because like most immigrants, I don't know if people know this. A lot of immigrants who aren't legal here, what they will do is they will just pick a random social security number and then pay taxes into it. Like that's what most people do. Yeah. And that's great for our social security system. They don't take out. Like immigrants, for the most part, keep our economy going. What's the beef with having them? I don't understand. I'm just confused.
They're certainly contributing to the economy. And DACA, Mark, is not necessarily for high skilled. This is for
is it not?
Kids who are brought in and are here, living here, but they need a path to citizenship.
There was one program that's like just for like the geniuses, but
I think that they do prioritize probably.
Okay.
I don't know.
Special skills.
There's some sort of like program to keep them here and to make a path to citizenship, and that's the point of it.
Sure.
So Trump says instead of dismantling it, he will now flip and try to help it. All right, next up, there's a picture you've probably seen going around of a Trump campaign T-shirt with an eagle standing on top of a circle of laurels around an American flag. And last week, everybody was comparing it
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, the exact same thing was a Nazi logo. So I'm sure you probably saw that going around. And that is true. Yeah, so there's like this side by side of the Trump shirt and the Nazi logo that are exactly the same. Well, that's true. But it's also true that it's the same exact eagle and laurel formation of the current German coat of arms, even after the Nazis were gone. The seal of Congress, so Speaker Pelosi's office has the same deal there, and the U.S. Marines. It's inside.
So there's no like swastika at all, correct? It's not like
it's an American flag where the swastika would have been in the Nazi.
And Germany's really turned it around. So it's like
the thing that sets it apart, guys, is the America first. That's the issue here. It's
right.
Like,
that's it. That's at the bottom, right? That's
the what do you want? What do you want? America second?
No,
that's
but
true.
It's code word. That's what I'm saying. No one wants. That's the point, Mark. No one wants America second. That's the whole
Pat's
point.
saying this. Be sensitive to this. To the Nazi. Shout out there. I'd pull the shirt probably, but my guess is it's a #1 seller, so you can't pull it now. So.
It's a little bit. So like the eagle is a very very versatile mascot, right?
Bird.
Like our eagle, I like a lot. The Nazis' eagle, not a big fan of. Less lines, less definition.
I mean, there are a lot of different logos you could go with, right? You could pull it and do a different thing, right?
No, you're going to stick eagle, Mark. You're going to stick eagle.
Well, you could do a different eagle logo.
Right. So, Pat,
and this is a different eagle than you've seen before. The
problem, Pat, is that the eagle was so good that the Nazis stole it to use it, and then now they kind of spoiled the eagle here.
Well, I'd say more eagles, just like where the swastika was, an eagle again.
Why do you say
eagle
swastika?
I don't know how.
No,
swastika. I don't know what it is.
The swastika. He's like drunk.
Well, I like to talk shit about it because it's stupid.
Not us. Not Will and I.
You guys like the swastikas?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. No. Hate them. Definitely hate them.
All right. Okay.
Not being sarcastic.
I don't mind it as a Buddhist symbol, like it was originally used before the Nazis bastardized it.
It's gone. It's been taken, and don't do anything with it.
Okay, well, this isn't about those, anyways. This is about the eagle that is also the same eagle, but it's making a big stir. So everybody takes sides on the eagle. That's what everybody wants, apparently.
Eagles we have a bald eagle as our fucking national bird, right? We can still have eagles,
right? But they've made it a lightning rod. It's like the statues.
Come on,
So anyhow. Moving on, Goya, the CEO of Goya, the bean company, the dominant bean companies, like pretty much, if you're looking for beans, it's probably a Goya can that you usually pick up, or like Bush's, something like that.
Is that the slogan that goes Goya, or is that something else?
I don't know.
What else could it be, really?
I think it's a different company, but
Voya, that's the phone company.
Phone
no,
company.
that's Vonage.
But it sounds like that.
Think of Vonage.
Vonage. Okay. Well, anyways, this is Goya, the bean company. And the CEO of Goya last week said that we're lucky to have a leader like President Trump. Then for some reason, him saying just that, CEO of a company, just AOC and Julian Castro decided that deserved a call for a Goya boycott. So just praising the president now gets your company boycotted by
now
AOC
beans
and
are
Julian
politicized?
Castro.
Come on.
Yep. And so, of course, now all Republicans after that, led by Ted Cruz, are buying and consuming Goya beans like it's going out of style.
So now all the Republicans are farting more?
Exactly. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And the craziest part, it's actually being perpetrated by like high-profile politicians.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
And so taking it to the internet finally on this very long Trump date, it's going to get very funny now because we're going to look at KW Miller for Congress in Florida District 18. He said, just had a cup of coffee and 2 cans of Goya beans. Take that, libs. Time to start the day. Today's task, save America.
So woke up to 2 cans of beans. Yeah.
That's going to be quite a visit to the
restroom.
restroom.
Oh, man.
Yeah, come on. So much. So I thought that this was like a fake account, and it's not. It's the real account. And then he posted a follow-up meme to that says, when I eat Goya beans, I own the liberals and leftist radicals.
With my stinky farts. Come on.
He's a real dude. I can confirm because I watched his live stream to prep for the show. Very crazy live stream. I thought it was actually a Bill Mitchell burner account, but nope, it's just a guy who's running for Congress who's about 10 years actually older than all of his pictures online. And Pat, you got to watch out for this guy because this is what KW said on Sunday. KW Miller for Congress, Florida 18 says, today, a man woke up in America and put his hair in a man bun. This same man then prepared avocado toast and drank a glass of soy milk. This same man then put a mask on to get in his car and drive to the store where he bought more soy milk. His name is Pat.
I'm, of course, talking about the beef.
Yeah, this doesn't faze me because I don't go by Pat no more. I go by the beef. You know
okay,
that.
Good.
But
you changed it just in time.
What he said he's a beta. Yeah.
What he should have said after that is, this man will also live 10 to 15 years longer than I will.
Yeah, he sounds healthy as fuck.
Yeah.
Soy milk and avocado toast.
I love avocado toast. I never drink dairy milk. And I've always rocked a man.
I don't know. I don't want to hang out with the guy that has to go to the store twice in one day for more soy milk and avocado. That's not.
He's regular.
That's a bit much.
He got it with the man bun, though. None of us rock man buns, so we can't be talking about our Pat, not the beef. All right, and that Trump date was brought to you by Paint Your Life. With COVID, a lot of families aren't able to get together right now, and that's tough on all of us. But one way that you can bring everybody a little bit closer is by sending a family portrait from Paint Your Life to your loved ones that you can't be with this year. It'll blow them away. If you want to give a truly meaningful gift, you've got to try paintyourlife.com. Get a professional hand-painted portrait created from any photo at a truly affordable price. Choose from a team of world-class artists. You can pick your artist and work with them until every detail of the painting is perfect. It's a user-friendly platform that lets you order a custom-made hand-painted portrait in less than 5 minutes. It's a quick and easy process. Get a hand-painted portrait. It only takes about 3 weeks to get it made, which is crazy. I mean, I don't even understand how they're so efficient. But
we gotta get a Pat Beaver haircut painting.
Ooh,
made.
Add it to the list. Add it to the list. Send any picture you want, yourself, your children, your family, a special place, whatever you want, or a combination of photos. These artists can do whatever you want, all combine it into one painting. It makes the perfect birthday, anniversary, or wedding gift. Whatever you need it for, it's perfect. And I know the one that Mark ordered of his cats for his parents is absolutely breathtaking, is what I've heard. I mean, I've heard
no complaints, my friend. You know what I mean?
Right on the mantelpiece.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Stunning people when they walk in the home.
You think they could do me with like a bunch of beavers around me at a dam at work with my brothers and sisters?
You work with the artist until every detail is complete, Pat. So if you got those pictures, those references together, I'm sure that paintyourlife.com can
anything
make it
you
happen.
want. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. At paintyourlife.com, there is no risk. If you don't love the final painting, your money is refunded, guaranteed. And right now, as a limited time offer, get 20% off your painting, which is a huge savings. That's right, 20% off and free shipping. To get this special offer, text the word FACTOR to 64,000. That's FACTOR to 64,000. Text FACTOR to 64,000. Paint your life. Celebrate the moments that matter most.
All right, let's start out the lightning round with a heater. Nancy Pelosi, the 52nd Speaker of the House and first woman Speaker of the House, highest position for a woman ever in U.S. history, is under some fire, guys. This time from her own team, it seems like. She's taking some friendly fire.
Well, we kind of, I think, have alluded to the fact that it's surprising she's been in charge for so long.
That's right.
Nobody's challenged it.
The lifelong politician was first elected to Congress in 1936, Will. So, yes, that's correct. But the top trending topic for a while on Sunday on Twitter was hashtag Pelosi must go. Apparently, the campaign to oust Pelosi.
Hold on. Why didn't they make it Pelosi must go see? This is fuck. I just like whenever they miss these things, it just pisses me off.
That would be so much better.
Maybe they feel like it's not serious enough if they added the C at the end.
Yeah, whatever.
Pat, start it. But apparently the campaign to oust Pelosi is coming from progressives that want Shahid Buttar, a man with a great beard, to replace Pelosi in Congress, essentially retiring her at the ripe age of 80 because she gets kicked out of Congress.
So they want to not just get a new speaker and assign it from within the party. They want to actually make her leave Congress altogether.
They want her out. Yeah, they want her out completely, Will. She's being cannibalized by the far left after two lifetimes of work.
You probably can't get rid of her if she's still there.
Bro, by the way, Pelosi...
Like she's in power if she's there.
You were being a little facetious earlier when you said she got elected during the Nazi era, but she is actually 80. And can we give her a round of applause for how good she looks at 80 years old? I mean,
it is impressive.
Christ.
She's kept herself together.
What is she doing?
She looked good when she first started for sure. No, I mean, she looks great for an 80-year-old. That's true. But I mean, she was like, she looked real good, as like a 40-year-old.
Yeah, I bet.
Pat's gone down the rabbit hole on the show before.
How can you tell?
But look, Pelosi's got to go see it sounds like that's happening. So sorry, Nancy. I was wrong. It was actually the second most trending thing on Twitter on Sunday, right below hashtag Jewish privilege, which was a response to some recent anti-Semitism stories. And it was just a bunch of horror stories about people posting about how their Jewish family members have been murdered and persecuted for basically forever, and included some recent deaths and persecution stories. So Twitter was on one this weekend. It was fun time on Twitter.
Yeah, whenever people give it to the Jews for like running things, I'm like, even if that word true, good for those folks. Because, geez, they have been persecuted.
Yeah, so that was that was number one thing, is hashtag Jewish privilege. It was a little tongue-in-cheek, being like, oh, really, Jewish privilege? Here's this, boom, this story, and this story.
That's what it always is. Yeah. They always trend something that's opposite.
Yeah, you're like, what's this trending for? It's a little tongue-in-cheek on Twitter. They're funny. Another politician that had a bad weekend was the mayor of Louisville, Greg Fisher. Fisher was holding a press conference at a city housing project, and he had a podium set up and reporters and the cameras going and the whole nine when he got interrupted by a large group of protesters that just walked directly behind him and held up a bunch of signs behind him, including one enormous sign that said, "Fire, fire, gentrifier." And then they started yelling that over and over again on the megaphones, completely drowning the mayor out in his speech. He just had to stop talking. It was so crazy. It looked like he planned it with them, like the way they just casually walked in.
I thought it was his staff.
Yeah, like they casually walked in behind him, set up completely in frame, and then just owned his ass. Like that was the best like hijacking of a speech I've ever seen.
And you gotta love these people. If they had started the Pelosi's got to go one, then they would have done it right. Because firefighter, gentrifier is pretty good wordplay for a sign and
that
a chant.
Rolls.
Remember when we tried to do this when ESPN's College Game Day came to University of Texas's campus, and we might try to get behind there with signs, but they are very strict with what they
maybe
let.
the mayor of Louisville, Fisher here, should hire some of those people, Pat, because his staff didn't look behind him.
Well, what was
behind
that building, and how were those people all staged?
So he was at a city housing like project. So it was like two buildings, like two apartment buildings. In between them, there's like a courtyard, and they just set up in the courtyard and waited for this bozo to give a speech.
Yeah, they hid
and then they
inside,
walked in.
yeah.
Like no one looked behind the courtyard area and saw like a group of people with "fuck you, mayor" signs. Like, you kidding me? How did he not know that was going to happen? Anyways, yeah, I guess the protesters won that round. Fisher was in the city's Portland neighborhood to announce a $2.9 million investment in affordable housing, but that wasn't good enough. He didn't address the protesters at all, and after like 20 seconds of them just owning him and drowning him out, he just walked off like real like embarrassed with his head down and looked like an idiot.
How did he keep trying to talk through it in the first place? He should have just left. It's like turned around.
He didn't try long, Will. He didn't try very long. Fisher, who's a 62-year-old Democrat, has been having a tough time recently, as in June, a bunch of city police officers walked out on Fisher in protest because they felt disrespected by the way he's handling things with the police. And oh yeah, for those that aren't familiar, Breonna Taylor was shot to death in her home in Louisville, and a recent lawsuit suggests alleges that police faced pressure from the city to clear out housing on Elliott Avenue, where Breonna Taylor lived, for a large real estate development project. So they're trying to like gentrify it, hence the fire, gentrify. So fucking Mayor Fisher is just swimming in shit. Like he can't keep his head above the shit water right now. He's getting owned by everyone.
Yeah.
Tough
year.
I mean, it's about to be the time where he's going to be like, I can't even take a shit in this town anymore without someone telling me I'm wiping my ass wrong. And I have a feeling he's on his way out as well. Also, no one's been arrested in the Breonna Taylor thing. Just a couple, one firing and a couple.
That's
got to
change, man.
No one's been fired. So. Yeah, so that's bad, right? And lastly, everyone's favorite monsters assistant, Ghislaine Maxwell, has reportedly been moved from cell to cell to avoid assassins in her Brooklyn jail. I guess that's what happens when you put all of the violent people in the same place. Some of them are willing to commit violent crimes if you pay them. Like everyone's like, well, assassins? What do you mean assassins? How do they get assassins in jail? They've been there, is the answer.
Huh?
All of the prisoners, like probably.
Yeah, we're not talking about ninja assassons. We're talking about guys named Jerry and Steve and Tom.
Okay.
Stop thinking of movies. How about the 300 murderers in jail that could get paid?
Yeah. Okay. I get that. Like, yeah. Okay.
I mean, everyone's like, assassins? Yes, assassins. Either the guards or the prisoners when they get paid $10 million.
Roscoe.
We really need to hear the list of names that also raped underage girls with Epstein. We need to hear that list. But it brings me great pleasure knowing Maxwell's living every moment of the rest of her life in fear, because she really deserves that. She's forced to wear paper clothes and sleep on a bare mattress so she can't kill herself, while every squeak in the night makes her asshole pucker up because it could be an assassin. Also, there's a rumor of a COVID outbreak in her jail and rumors that she may have already been exposed and has COVID. So it's like she's living in the fire swamp from The Princess Bride. Couldn't happen to a worse human. I hope they make her own shit, eat her own shit when she's in there. Fuck her. That's it for the lightning round.
Yeah,
but guys.
Hopefully she gets to a courtroom.
She really needs to get to that courtroom like tomorrow. Two big things happened in Florida on Saturday. Disney World opened. And Florida set the new record for coronavirus cases in a single day at 15,299, shattering the record for the highest number of new cases in a single day by any state since the coronavirus pandemic began. Hell yeah, gotta get my Disney in.
There you go.
New York didn't have a 15,000 day?
Nope, that's the biggest day, period.
Wow.
Sunshine State took the record from California, who held it briefly with 11,694. Florida is now averaging...
Texas has a bunch of over 10,000s.
Yeah, this is 11,694. Okay. Florida is now averaging 73 deaths per day. 3 weeks ago, the average was 30 deaths per day. So that's the real big statistic to pay attention to, guys. A lot of people are like, well, we're seeing more because we're testing more. No, twice the amount of people that were dying daily compared to 3 weeks ago. Over twice. Not good. Governor Ron DeSantis seems to be very confused and
DeSantis, right?
Santos?
It is DeSantis, but you can call him DeSantos if you
DeSantis.
want.
Santos is a Mexican soccer player.
DeSantis, Governor Ron DeSanto, seems to be very confused and/or on the payroll of some entity whose motives I am not entirely sure of what they are. Here's why. DeSantis has not implemented a statewide mask mandate, claiming last week.
Yeah. It's so crazy. Like so many states have one, but not Florida, and Florida is like just jumping off the charts with new cases. It's
Did you guys not see the town halls that we've covered. When you tell it's a
Well,
town
right.
in Florida,
Yeah, that's why they don't have it. Yeah.
I mean, it causes more of a problem if you force Floridians to wear a mask.
Yeah,
That's
they hate
actually the
masks.
smartest thing they could do is not enforce the mask policy.
I mean, so do you guys remember when DeSanto went to the White House and he like took a victory lap, being like, everyone thought we were going to get as bad as New York or Italy, but clearly that didn't happen because I'm handling it the correct way, and that turned out to be total bullshit.
Yeah, but that sucks. It sucks.
It sucks.
It's not good.
But
It's not good.
But like yes, it sucks. But I
The
don't.
South
like
and the West are basically getting now what New York had in a lot of places. I mean, it seems like Texas is really taken off. I know that now I know people in Texas who have it. And so
for sure,
guys,
I think there's
the argument is
we've been hang on, we've been saying from the beginning, and I don't like politicizing a global pandemic, and you can politicize it all you want. The bottom line is it's just in the air, and so many people have been exposed to it that it doesn't matter if your governor makes you wear a mask or not. I mean, it might help a little bit, but we're all exposed to it. Like it's
that's what's not true.
No, the
Mark.
mask will
That's
definitely
what's not
help.
true.
No,
That's
the
not
mask
true.
helps, but it's too late. Like there's no yes,
Well,
wear
you
the
need
mask.
to start putting them on now, and people need to use hand
Guys,
sanitizer.
the argument is this.
The genie's out of the bottle.
The argument is this. What is the value, right, of closing the economy to protect human lives versus not closing the economy and not protecting human lives? That's the argument. The argument has nothing to do with masks. There should be no argument over masks. You should have to wear fucking
Keep
masks.
the economy open and make masks mandatory. Why can't
I don't
we just do
understand.
that?
I mean, look, it's a tough call no matter what, but telling your people to wear masks, not a tough call. Not a tough call. Why not do it? I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Weird. DeSantos says before he figured out
What's your stance on seatbelts, the beef?
Oh, the beef doesn't ride in cars that have seatbelts. That's my stance on seatbelts.
So, you don't like
you
wearing
know that, but
seatbelts?
they're grandfathered in. The beef
So
only
you're
rides
saying
in cars
no seatbelts.
that were made pre
masks. I feel
1972.
I feel like seatbelts and masks. Are the same thing.
Ooh, yeah, that is a good one.
Fuck you. I always wear my
that's
seatbelt.
That's a mental pretzel.
The beef, the beef drives it.
I don't want to hear anyone that doesn't like wearing a seatbelt telling me.
The
holier than
beef
thou
drives a
with a mask.
15-year-old BMW that has an automatic seatbelt, bro. You know that.
Of course, the seatbelt is just to save you, whereas the mask is to save other people.
You know
so the
who
mask
on
is
this
actually
show-
even more benevolent.
Who doesn't
Well,
wear
I mean, if
seatbelts
you
on this
fly,
show?
a lot of people fly out of their windshield and into someone else's
you
car,
by-
injuring them.
That's true. You could be a projectile.
Who on this show doesn't wear seatbelts? Will.
No
We
one,
know
I'm
that
just
to be true.
saying.
Will is the anti-seatbelt guy on this show. We know that.
Will,
Yeah,
you don't
well,
wear seatbelts?
No, it's going to be like Pat saying, eventually I'll be grandfathered out of it because my current car doesn't beep at me, but it's getting very old. So
Will
I'm
was
gonna
always the
eventually-
anti-seatbelt guy.
Oh, yeah,
Don't come
well,
out with that
but-
bullshit.
No, exactly. Cars need to be like they have to beep at me. Or
Look at
I-
him
or I won't
stammering,
put it on.
trying to come up with a reason. Let me get back to my story,
No,
guys.
Pat. I'm openly anti-seatbelt, but I would wear a mask because it saves others.
Yes.
Next, they're going to tell me I can't smoke cigarettes.
Oh,
Right?
God, I
In
gotta
fact,
get those.
not would do. Yeah, whatever. We've talked enough about the fucking mask.
Wear the mask. We're all mask people.
All right, guys.
I'm joking.
Anyway,
I'm joking.
DeSantis said before he figured out the mask situation, he said, quote, "We're stabilized where we're at," which they're just not. DeSantis also came out and said, this is the big school argument, y'all, which is a really fiery argument. If you can do Walmart, you can do Home Depot, if you can do these things, we absolutely can do the schools. It should not be a political issue. It should be based on the facts. And if we see that this is a very low risk, and we see, I think, overwhelmingly in every study that school kids are not vectors of transmission. Sorry, that was a little bit confusing, but that's exactly his words.
It's
verbatim.
confusing because it doesn't make any fucking sense. If you can open up a store, you can open up a school. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. Also,
Because people are in stores for like 20 minutes, and kids are in school for like 10 hours, and teachers in school for like 10 hours straight. That doesn't make any
100%.
fucking sense.
100%.
I mean, they need to make if they're gonna have at least half the kids in right at all times. It sounds like they might have more than half. They definitely need to wear a mask when they're at school, or try to enforce it for the super young kids. They won't be able to, but I mean, it's going to be up to the schools eventually. How good.
I'm not offering a solution for the schools, and I'm not saying the schools should be shut down, but I'm saying that comparison is fucking stupid.
I agree. I think really
way
what
more
we-
tightly
the
packed.
Home Depot versus a school, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
The point being, guys, we just need to pull Governor DeSantis the fuck out of all conversations. And if you voted for the guy, you just need to sit back and just think about it, because
Well, the other guy was Gillum.
Let's have
Right.
The other guy,
Yeah,
the,
that guy's
the other
bad,
guy
too.
was getting so fucked up that his male sex partners were dying in the hotel room because they partied so hard.
Florida, okay. We just need to get Florida out of the conversation.
You know
Can we
that guy's not wearing a mask.
Can we put someone in? We need a ruler to come into Florida and shake it. I normally wouldn't advocate for that, but just shake things up for a couple months.
I don't know, Pat. I feel like Floridians only vote their own in. You know, you got to have some they see through.
You got to have a Florida tattoo.
Well,
Yeah.
Speaking of how this is going to impact the November for Florida is super interesting because like Florida is like the consummate swing state, and with the state absolutely just getting crushed right now by coronavirus, like how is that going to impact November? That's an interesting thing to look at for sure.
Well, is
We'll
Biden
see.
going to come out of his basement to tell you how he's going to fix Corona? Because
Yeah. And obviously you want people to stay safe, but like Mark said, the genie's out of the bottle there. There's going to be a lot of infections, and there's going to be obviously more deaths that come with the infections. So
That's true.
hopefully they extinguish the outbreak as quickly as they can, but there's going to be residual effects in all the places that are having outbreaks, just like, there would be in any place where they had an outbreak, like Italy, New York, whatever.
That's true. Guys, here's what else we know. Florida is anti-mask. Here's why. According to an analysis of Twitter data that looks for anti-mask rhetoric, Florida ranks third in its distaste for masks. Coincidentally, they rank second in liberty and first in the search for oxys. What the hashtags? They did it on the hashtags, guys.
yeah, but who?
So what two states are
what
ahead?
two
Yeah.
states are ahead of Florida? on it?
Arizona
Okay.
is ahead of them, and one of the other southwestern ones, I forget. But guys, the hashtags they looked for were hashtag no mask, hashtag burn your mask, and hashtag anti-mask. My favorite being burn your mask. Like they dipped a toe in the water, they got a mask, and then they were like, I don't like it. I don't like it. Burn it. Burn it.
That's like that Target lady from Arizona who was destroying the masks in the store. That makes sense.
Don't be mad. Why are they mad at the mask? Guys, an article from the BBC sent to us by our British correspondent, Andrew Parker, says it all in the headline. Coronavirus. Crystal clear, drunk people will not socially distance. Is it just me, or is coronavirus becoming more and more like an analogy for the use of condoms and safe sex? Like every day, it's just more. We could have predicted it because, like, we watched what happens with condoms. We watched it happen. As a teenager, really safe. You get a little older, you stop using them. You don't care as much. You say, if I get it, I'll get it. When you're drunk, you're definitely not using them. You're definitely
That's
not.
a good point.
You know.
Yes, you're right. Like you get a few drinks in you, the chances you want to wear a condom, and it actually will protest wearing a condom go up per drink.
Yeah.
Same thing with the mask.
Masks and hand sanitizer is like the new condoms for everyday life. You're right, Pat. And
That's
so,
true.
If you're drinking, you're not going to use them.
Yeah, guys.
No.
The Soho district in London.
Going raw face.
Yeah, the Soho district in London looked like a Florida pharmacy with thousands of the descendants of the losers of the American Revolution drinking close to each other in the streets over the weekend. Here's a fun one. A 30-year-old man from Texas who believed the coronavirus was a hoax attended a, quote, COVID party and then died after being infected with the virus, according to a Texas hospital.
It's not a fun one.
No, it's not fun at all.
But that dude, I mean, like, what the fuck?
Well, those were that's like the colleges that are having the coronavirus parties. Like people think it's such a joke that they're like, I don't know if that's a weird defense mechanism or what. Like bug chasing the coronavirus is just weird.
How stupid could you be?
We know the type of guy.
Stupid enough to die.
We know the
Yeah,
type of guys that would
like-
do this too, and they just don't believe in it. But you do need to appreciate their pursuit of science. And this man had attended a gathering with an infected person.
Yes. Gave his life for science, yeah.
So this is a little bit different than that. They knew someone there was positive, and they partied with this positive person to test whether or not.
How do you feel
coronavirus
if you're
was
the
real.
friend that made the party? You killed your fucking friend.
I'm sure
Yeah,
they had him sign
yeah.
a release. Anyway,
Really?
he died. He died nobly in his pursuit of science. Just before he died, guys, he told the nurse, "quote I think I made a mistake. I thought it was a hoax, but it's not."
Yeah, that's not good. His dying words were, "I regret it."
Terrible.
That's like he's like the guy, the Indian magician. He's like if
Yeah. Yeah.
if it
Mandrake.
works, it will be magic. If it not, it will be tragic. He went and then he dove in the lake. Yeah,
It was tragic.
Yeah.
Guys, the total data here, confirmed cases in the U.S., 3.4 million, deaths, 137,765. And that is going to do it for Hard Factor. Thank you guys so much for listening. Yeah, what do we got this week, guys? What do we got? We got Hard Factor Radio on Sirius XM Power 85 coming up next this morning.
Start of the second round of debates this week too. Tuesday.
That's
Thursday.
right. Ooh, it gets closer to the championship.
Can't wait for that. Make sure to give us a follow on social media at Hard Factor Pat, at Hard Factor Mark, at Hard Factor Will, at Hard Factor News. Means a lot. If you can, go give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts on Wednesdays and Fridays. We'll read those reviews verbatim. I want to say on Friday it was the best reviews we've ever had. I really thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing review.
Keep leaving awesome reviews. Yeah.
We also do voicemails on Wednesdays and Fridays if you want to ask us a question other than Where is Wes, which we've addressed. He'll be back very soon. The number is
512-270-1480 to leave a voicemail.
Will totally enables me not learning it. I got to learn it. And
look it up, Beef.
And,
you tell me, Beef.
Yeah, the beef don't have room.
Beef doesn't memorize shit.
Beef refuses to memorize. Have a great fucking day.